fun. I know that you got one contact or two. So welcome all. I have not been in touch with Dr. Lucita, but Dr. Lucita, are you in the house?
I am. Good morning.
How are you? Do we have a
Fantastic.
point for the day?
Yes, we do.
Okay, thank you. So you know how we do it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. Let me on my camera. I hope we are all doing well. It's a beautiful Monday morning from County 046 miles away. We missed meet and greet, but the dinner has to be planned for. We have to be there. So welcome all of us to Power Monday. As the name suggests, we are a powerhouse. We meet every single Monday, except when it's a holiday in Kenya, as from 7:15 to 8:15, but we join in earlier at 7 a.m. to discuss, to intermingle, and perhaps somebody might make $1 million from here, and you might meet your destiny connector from such a forum. We discuss diverse topics on personal development, SMEs, MSMEs, and we demystify the fact that Mondays are boring days. Actually, they are not boring days. We look forward to Mondays. Thank you. I'll go ahead and do a poem in tandem with today's topic of discussion. I deviated a little bit, but it's still in tandem. I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered, not for gold nor for fame, but for the heart that I helped reclaim, for lighting sparks when none remained, when darkness loomed and hope was very thin. I want to be remembered that I whispered light for someone to rise within. I want to be remembered for the steady voice that I said in a storm. I want to be remembered for the words I gave, for the poems that I said, for the moments that I dared, for the times that I was brave, for the times that I was courageous. I want to be remembered for a soul that I lifted. I want to be remembered for the books that I wrote. I want to be remembered for the prayers that I made. I want to be remembered for the healing balm songs that I sang. I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered for the Monday voice that I made in Power Monday. I want to be remembered for the moments that I knew purpose and I started living. I want to be remembered to be true for what I love. I want to be remembered for standing with honesty and integrity, not for applause, not for the worldly prize, but for the moments that I stood and lived by me. I want to be remembered for being gentle, for being a good person, living within the confines of my purpose. I want to be remembered. So when you stand one day and you say, I remember you for the goodness that you lived for. Thank you.
Wow, that is such an eye opener. It's such an awesome poem. So the question is, how do you want to be remembered? How do you want to be remembered? Or first of all, do you even want to be remembered? If you want to be remembered, how do you want to be remembered? So I call upon Odiambo Olane, who is going to introduce the guest of the speaker of the day. How do you want to be remembered? As Odiambo Olane comes, how do you want to be remembered?
I'm not sure he's in yet, but Odiambolale thought he was going to give a vote of thanks. Yes, Odiambolale.
No.
That's what he was telling me earlier. Just
No,
unmute yourself, sir. I can see you now. Okay, just to alert members that we expected Dave Okech, but something happened and he was forced to postpone that, but assigned a very able daughter of his, and we are in for one of the best talks. So, Odiambulale, you're not unmuting. Yeah.
Okay, is that better now?
Oh, no, that's
yes,
good.
that's better.
Now you
You are
can
not.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so good morning, everybody. Glad to be back. I was away for some time, but now I'm here. I have the pleasure of inviting our guest speaker today, who is known to me, and even his brother is known to me. Her name is Dr. Violet Caroline Akoth Okech. She is a consultant psychiatrist and counselor with more than 20 years experience in the field of mental health in Kenya and East Africa. She is nationally recognized innovative and inspiring leader, mentor, seasoned national trainer of healthcare workers, and a speaker, teacher, and researcher in mental health in Kenya and beyond. She works as a chief medical specialist psychiatry at the largest public teaching and referral hospital in Nairobi, Kenya. That is a Kenyatta National Teaching and Referral Hospital. For those who are born in the donkey years like me, it was originally called King George VI Hospital. At Kenyatta Hospital, she plays a pivotal role in guiding KNH staff and students in providing world-class quality evidence-based mental health care, promoting research and advising on policy and practice at a national level. She also chairs adult psychiatry and coordinates mental health research at the Department of Mental Health, Kenyatta National Hospital, Nairobi, Kenya. She is an honorary lecturer in the Department of Psychiatry, University of Nairobi, College of Health Sciences. Dr. Violet Okech holds a Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery degree and a Master of Medicine Psychiatry from the University of Nairobi and Master's Public Health degree, and is a Fulbright Hubert Humphrey Fellowship 2007 alumni of the Johns Hopkins University, USA. She has trained over 2,000 healthcare workers in psychosocial aspects of living with and treating HIV and AIDS, and is currently a lead trainer in a collaboration with the Ministry of Health, Division of Mental Health, in training hospital management teams on how to implement the national guidelines for workplace mental wellness. She played a key role in the mental health services development in Kenya and East Africa as a past founding president of the East Africa Young Psychiatrists and Trainees Association, and was the first female to be the national vice chairperson of the Kenya Psychiatric Association. She was the first Kenya Psychiatric Association, World Psychiatric Association, Young Psychiatrists Council representative in 2004. She has participated in many local and international. There's so much as she has on her CV, but I think I'll cut it short there so that we can now hear from her. Karibu, Violet.
Thank you very much, Mr. Olale, for your kind introduction, and good morning and a wonderful Monday to everybody on this Zoom call today. How are you people?
We are fine, thank you.
It's good to hear from you and to see you. Yes, so I know that you're expecting my big brother, Ms. Mwalimu David Okech, but Mwalimu was taken ill suddenly, so he was not able to give today's talk. And Dr. Dilima asked me if I could step in and into his very big shoes and give the talk on his behalf. So thank you for allowing me to try and be Mwalimu. Yes. Yeah, thank you very much. So, so this is me. I'm not a morning person, so this is a really big effort for me. You think you should clap for me? Wonderful. Mwalimu is definitely a morning person. Me, my meetings are like, yeah, let's have the meeting from 10 a.m. So anyway, but you guys are very important, and this was a really important talk. So yeah, so here I am. Let me have the first slide up.
Good. So,
So,
Antonia, share. Antonia.
Thank you, Antonia.
Good.
So our topic is about legacy, and legacy is not an inheritance, it's investing in people. Let's go on to the next slide. That picture is a dream about the junior secondary school in a little village where we come from in Alego Agulu, Siaya County, that we are dreaming of building up. We've started building up, and is actually just at the foundation stage, and where we intend to make we are trying to make a difference, both as a family and as a community that lives in that particular village. Mwalimu David Okech is the chairman of the committee that is trying to set up this junior secondary school and equip it. And we are privileged to be able to try and continue a legacy of giving, of generosity, and of making a difference that our forefathers, our grandparents, and our parents have laid in our hearts and in our minds. And as I listened to what the little snippet that I got about, as people were sharing about what they do, I'm very impressed, because I'm seeing that I'm actually in the right group of people who are making a difference in their spheres of influence, people who realize that we're only here for a short while, and people who want to, who are ready to leave a legacy and are already working on their legacies as they go along their everyday lives. Next. So the question is what truly lasts when you're gone? I hope you're aware that no one is leaving this planet alive, huh? And we're only here for a short time. It's true. No one is leaving this planet alive. As soon as you're born, you just know you have a life journey to go, and it's important to discover your purpose. And you people, having discovered your purpose and are working in the spheres where God has gifted you, you need to ask yourself, what are you going to leave behind when you're gone? And who are you mentoring? Who are you helping? Who are you coaching? Who's going to be part of the fruit of the seeds that have been planted in you, and that you in turn are planting forever? So if I look at Mwalimu's journey in leadership and education, he's like the middle born in our family. I'm number 8, he's number 4, with many years between us. I think legacy many times is rooted in family. And in our family, the dream of education actually began with grandma. Our grandmother was a wonderful lady called Nora, who in around early 1900s saw that the white man had come to the village where she was, and then there was something called education. She started walking long distances to go and buy paraffin. She would then come back to the village and sell paraffin. And a folklore has it at our village that she actually gave more paraffin than she sold. But her business thrived. And through her business, she was able to send her firstborn, who was called Mr. Okech, our dad, to school. And when he went to school the first time, his father and him walked about 2.5 hours, daddy carrying the wooden bed that had been made for the son to go to a high school called Hono, which actually means miracle. But the first time they went, they said that the young Alfayo was too young, because you know how they used to measure your ability to start schooling before. You'd put your hand, over your ear. And if, yes, exactly. And if your hand is reached the ear, then you're good to go. I think his hand had not quite reached the ear. So he went back home for 1 more year. And when he came back the next time, hurrah, he was ready to go to start school. So Alfayo does school. He excels, later grows up, helps his siblings also to go to school, marries a wonderful young lady, beautiful young lady from the village, not too a number of hills away. Those days they would send the aunties to look for a suitable lady. And out of the children that God blessed them with, then Mwalimu David is the fourth born, and Mwalimu is actually very special. His name David is very special in our family because he was born, I think, about the same week that our grandfather David had just passed on, and so he was named after Grandpa. And he not only inherited the personality of the hard work, discipline, and passion of Grandma, but he also inherited the fortitude and the ability to see things in people and to nurture growth and talent, and to impart knowledge that we had in our grandpa. So we are lucky to come from a family of legacy and of people who practically are willing to invest in others. And throughout university and school, I noticed by the time I was a little child, Mwalimu David was in Kenyatta University. And I remember we'd visit him with my parents, and he'd be sharing. Those days they used to be given not only boom, which was money from the government, but they also really used to be fed well. I see that. Remember, they used to have like pineapples in rings, in tins, that were really tasty. And he always shared those with us. Oh my goodness, that was really a highlight of the week if we visited him, yeah. And then through the years, I have seen Mwalimu David, every school that he went to just thrived and blossomed. He's an amazing administrator. And I know that each one of us on this call have a gift and a purpose that we are executing where we are. And I would say that he was like King Midas. The things he touched turned to gold. Starting from, he had gone to school at Lenana High School and later went on to the same school to teach. And that's when I was living with him. And I was also in school, in high school. He brought me up partly. So, and then I've seen him go on to the various schools throughout this country, Aga Khan High School, Ofafa Jericho School, later on to become Director of City Education at Nairobi, Kise, and eventually ending Upper Hill School, and eventually finishing his teaching career at that point when people still used to retire at 55 at High Reach Secondary Teacher School. And through that, I can see that he has always been passionate about making a difference, bringing working teams together and helping people be their best version of themselves, and helping institutions which perhaps would be struggling to get on their feet and to go on to the next level. So legacy is what people can do because of you. And a major part of legacy is what are you seeing the purpose and the vision in the people around you? Are you making a difference in helping them to see for themselves what they can do and encourage them in what they are doing, correcting course when needed, and also guiding them, offering a ear and a listening ear, applauding them in their successes, helping them learn from their disappointments, and helping them to make a difference. And to be like, if we look at our lives as candles, each one of us as a candle. Have you ever entered a dark room and as soon as you put on the light, it's like you can see everything clearly? So somebody who's a legacy bearer is somebody who has a clear vision of what they want, why they're here, where they're going, and they're willing to carry people around them and light other people's candles as their candle also continues to burn, so that there is light and purpose and change around them, positive change. Let's go on to the next slide. So, who are you investing in? We all have something to give. And I know that all of us are leaders in the various spheres of influence where we are in our companies. And if we look at the life of Mwalimu, for us, a good part of the seed is our mothers and fathers' belief in education. And being a destiny helper where we are, having our own people who invested in us as destiny helpers and legacy catalysts, and the realization that whatever, like Moses, when he was going to liberate the children of Israel from bondage, and he meets God at the burning bush, and God asked him, "What do you have at hand?" And what he had in his hand, that rod that he had in his hand, is what was God used as an instrument to liberate the people of Israel and the people of Israel from Egypt at that particular time. I think it has become very clear in the last couple of months, ever since we had a new president in the USA, that our time has come for us as Africans to grow up and to take charge of our own destinies, because quite a number of funding and other things that we've been getting from countries abroad, from Uncle Donald's country, has just been snipped off. So we have been being supported for many, many years. And I know that in each one of us in the spheres that we operate in, we are flourishing and thriving, but it is time for us to go up one notch higher and to now expand our influence and our impact so that we can continue, we can grow in becoming people of legacy. Next. Next slide, please. Yeah, now that is a picture of Nia Girls High School, which is where Mwalimu David Okech is the chairman of the Board of Governors. And this is definitely a school which is well known on our part of the world. And when he retired, he has not only, he did not just put down his pen, you know, and his boots as a teacher, but has continued to influence generations to come through his wise and able leadership at this particular school. Let's continue. So we know that as we go on in our lives and in our careers, we are like people who are climbing a ladder. So what ladder, the ladder that you're on, is it only a ladder to personal success or collective upliftment? So how is your leadership, your career, and your influence building people up, okay? And at the end of your life, or even as you go along, will there be somebody or a number of people behind you who will say that you mentored me in the fish business, you mentored me in media, you mentored me in wellness, you mentored me in this and the other? I'm very privileged working at Kenyatta National Hospital I have many young doctors and of course, also nurses and other cadres of staff, but specifically doctors who pass through my hands. And I'm not only able to support them in being good doctors who are well equipped to diagnose, to treat, to manage conditions, but also to help them in their own self-awareness and growth. And that for me is a plus because we are doing like what we call holistic management of people and also holistic encouragement and legacy building in the people who interact with. So in your sphere of influence, I wonder, who are you impacting and who are you working with? Whose hands are you holding on this and the other? And who are you encouraging to hold somebody's hands behind so that they'll be able to make a difference in this nation? Next slide, please. So this is a picture of Mwalimu David Okech and his wife, Dorothy Okech, and they're seated in front of their house up country in Agulu. And one of the key legacy projects that Mwalimu David is working on, as I told you, I've shared from the beginning, is helping our little primary school, Agulu Primary School in Sia, to move on to the next level as the junior secondary school. And there's a little of what has been inputted by the government, but a lot of it depends on the community. And to see that project growing and glowing and helping people, the children in the community and people who are coming around to make a difference in their lives is really amazing. The brick and mortar, as we look at it, in people putting our hearts and our hands in our pockets to build a legacy is very, very powerful. So the real foundation in this school is the hope and opportunity it is giving and will give future generations who will be able to realize their potential in their generation, who'll be able to go into careers that impact many, who'll be able to build livelihoods, who'll be able to be a support in the community. And that is something that is totally exciting. Next. So this is actually a picture of the latest thing that was built at the school. So the standard 9 pupils needed a classroom. And we'd had a few harambes here and there we'd had like 2 harambes for this particular school. So it was an emergency because there was not enough room for the junior secondary school people to go into the next level. And so this building was put up over the last couple of months, and it represents the sacrifice, the giving, and the vision of the people in the community and those who've been able to work together with Mwalimu and the other committee members so that we are able to help the children move on from one level to the other. As we say, legacy lives in institution and in people, and in which people are you investing in? Which institutions are you already a part of? And is your institution helping the people in who interact with you burn brighter and grow higher? Thank you. Next. So legacy is not just about money. There are many forms of legacy. You can pass on wisdom, mentorship, principles of success. You can open somebody's heart and mind that actually, because of what you're doing in your business or in your career, that it can actually be done. I'm so excited to hear to one of the doctors who spoke a little bit earlier, who's a wellness coach, and is very interested, is doing great things in matters wellness and women's health. And I'm really looking forward to linking up with her. So I'm already going to get a leg up in that particular direction from what our sister there is already doing. And therefore, it involves looking inward and realizing what you are doing, that what you're doing is valuable, and also looking for like-minded people around you, or people whom you can, people who you're already working with, or people from your family, people from your community, people from the place that you work, and others who might be interested in what you're doing, and showing them the ropes, as it were. The other thing is other forms of legacy are faith. You know, it's important for us to continue being well connected to our Lord and our God, who created us in our mother's womb for a purpose. And who have you taught? Who have you prayed with? Who have you coached? Who have you equipped? I love, this is a wonderful picture, yes, of Agulu Primary School. This is one of the blocks that already exist. I love the colors, the cream and the blue. And when I go home, I always make it a point to just pass by the school and have a word with the children. The other thing is they're really in dire need of more teachers to support the school. And that's one of the legacy projects that Mwalimu David Okech is working on, even as we support this community to be able to help their children get an education. Next. Now, this is the foundation actually of the part of the junior secondary school. And this is about where I think we're a little bit beyond this now, but we definitely have laid the foundation. We're just about an M short, 1 million shillings short of doing the basic part that needs to be done and help it grow a little bit up. That was the first part, because the county had promised that if we are able to raise that part, then they'll be able to also channel some funds towards that direction. And so even as you listen to me, I'm asking that if you'd like to be part of our legacy project at Agulu, please feel free to reach out to Mwalimu David, most probably on WhatsApp. His number will be at the end of this presentation. But hopefully we have reproduced ourselves at least once or twice. And what will your grandchildren say about you? I can say that as part of Nora legacy, when grandma walked those many miles to go and buy paraffin, to sell paraffin, to take our dad to school, we are part of her legacy because she foresaw that education was going to open doors for her children. And we as her grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and even great-great-grandchildren, we're continuing to build on that legacy. So how are you living? Are you investing in somebody around you? Are you giving something extra? Are you also giving back to the community? And what will you leave behind? What shall we say on the day that God calls you home? That this person, not only did they walk far in their profession, but they say that if you want to walk far, you need to walk with other people. And if you want to walk fast, you walk alone. Will people around you be able to say, will your grandchildren be able to say that we are here because grandma or granddad did this and the other? And we are also here because we have extended family and friends whom we call family, because grandpa or granddad impacted them. And also there are people in this community whose lives have been changed because of the business that you set up, because of the vision that you've had as a teacher, as an educator, the vision that you've had as an entrepreneur, the vision you've had as a doctor, and any other profession that you're in, the vision that you've had as a nutritionist, people that you've had as a homemaker, nurturing and disciplining children to be the best version of themselves and helping them to establish the mental health, a strong and resilient mental health system in their hearts and minds that will help them to be people who make a difference as they journey on in life. Next. I like this. This water tank is one of actually the things that from the Harambes that we did, the school really lacked water. So they set up, and the children would have to, walk to the stream down the road, which is about a 10-minute walk, depending on how fast your your legs will carry you well. It's 10 minutes going, 10 minutes coming back, and get water from that water source. It's a river. It's not exactly the cleanest of water. So this water tank actually represents a major step in providing clean water and available water to the children and, you know, to the staff as they teach in the school. And part of the money from the Harambee went into that. So we are starting, and we've started somewhere. Or rather, we are continuing, we're building on. Actually, this land was donated by our grandparents together with the people, a few families, about 3-4 families in the village who donated land for the school to be built and the church next door. And what we are doing is continuing their legacy by mentoring children, by supporting the school, and helping restore dignity to people in our village. Legacy isn't built in a day. It starts with a decision. It starts with a decision to take from what you have and to give someone else. And have you ever noticed that if you really want to multiply, there's an element of dying and of sacrifice in this way, in that, like, you only, when you're like doing maize, let's talk about maize, because, you know, maize is our staple in Kenya. If you put in 1 seed in the ground or 2 seeds, the way we do it, in case one fails, you end up with this whole, you know, maize plant that has so many cobs. And there is so much potential in each one of us, and not only potential, but I know that you're already making waves wherever you are. And this is an exhortation to just continue what we are doing in terms of planting seeds of faith, of hope, of resilience in those whose lives we impact, and also going a step higher in sacrificing a little bit, perhaps more, in order to make a difference. Perhaps also like us in the villages and the homes where we homes where we come from. And for us, we look forward to actually establishing an endowment, David Okech Endowment Fund, because he's been a seasoned teacher for many, many, many decades. And so that we'll be able to have something that lasts on into perpetuity in helping totally equip and build up the school, and so that we'll be able to also continue, we'll be able to expand the impact and the scope of what grandma, granddad, and everybody else around us did in the years preceding us. Next. So actually, yes, we've moved on a little, moved on some. We still have some deficits, but we know that as we continue on this journey, or one of my mentors, Dr. Frank Jenga, likes to say that the main job of a teacher is to chase ignorance from our heads. As we continue in partnering with Mwalimu David Okech and the hospital, I'm so sorry, I'm so used to the hospital, and with Agulu Primary School committee members in making a difference in this community, we are confident that the little or the much that we put together is going to help somebody's child achieve their dreams, achieve their potential. And hopefully one of these fine days, we'll also have a president coming from our little village, from this school. And we encourage you to partner with us in supporting this school as you run your businesses, and also building a legacy wherever you are. Asanteni sana.
Hi, thank you very much, Daktari. That was excellent. That was great. Let's put our questions in the chat and comments for Daktari. And we want to believe that Dr. Melvin here will go and pass the message that you did justice to Mwalimu's talk. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Tatiana. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You made me remember that some years back when I was getting into the job market, in one of the interviews, we went out. It was a night out, and we
Yes.
were asked a question, and the question was: assume you are dead at 80, and
Yes.
10 years down the line, people have come for your 10th anniversary, the memorial,
Mm.
and you can hear them speak. What would you like to
Mm.
hear them speak about you? That is
Mm.
always resonating with me, and I also love the fact that you people have chosen education, and
Yes.
many commentators have said that education is is the only way we can uplift people. And just on Saturday, I was sharing with some other people that if it were not for education, if it were not for somebody who saw it fit to donate some books to a school where I was, I wouldn't be here today. So that explains how I came to love education. And just this week, through Rotary, I belong to Rotary. We are also going to donate some books to a school in my locality. I
Yes.
think their books worth close to 500,000 thereabout, because they are
That's
500.
amazing. Wow.
So I love this element of education. I love the topic on legacy, and I'm very much grateful. So Dr. Melvin is asking, by the way, I loved to hear that Mwalimu also taught in Ofafa Jericho. That is where Odhiambo Lale also schooled at some point. Yeah, so they share something. He was at
Amazing.
another school. That's where Dr. Melvin schooled, and Odhiambo Lale's big bro. So there is a
Mm,
lot, and so many people were talking. I know this teacher. This was my captain when I was in school. I want to join this talk. So lots of anticipation was there. So you will pass that regards. Okay, I think
I will
we'll
do.
start with what Maurice asked up there. What is your personal legacy? What do people say you are now? Your bio is rich. I think that is for you as a person. What is maybe it's in the Austral, but you can tell us.
Well, for me, my personal legacy is investing in the lives of doctors and medical students. And I've had the privilege of being very much involved in the development of mental health services, both in Kenya and beyond, in terms of from the year 2004, when I was asked to represent Kenya in the World Psychiatric Association, as I'm newly graduated psychiatrist, so that we talk about mental health, the importance of mental health, the importance of to look at the training that we were having across in East Africa, and how we could expand people's awareness about mental health issues, and also make psychiatry exciting. And I'm happy to tell you that I think there are very, very many conversations going on around mental health nowadays, isn't it? Around this nation. Before, it was something that was rarely talked about. And I can tell you that the people that I have mentored are in positions of authority in many countries around the world. And that is part of my legacy. But the other part of my legacy is I'm actually also, by the way, you are aware that life is made up of seasons. And there's a season to grow, there's a season to be educated, there's a season now to start off your business or your work, and to grow into the fullness of who God has designed you to be. And then there's also now I'm in the legacy season of my life, where I'm now actually impacting new interns that have been posted to Kenyatta National Hospital, and helping them to get a good grounding in what it takes to be a good doctor, and also help them to be resilient, and also to be mentally healthy, and to be aware that our profession is very intense. It can take a lot out of you, and we face many challenges, but that we are available as a listening ear. And I can also say that a good part of my legacy is I started off around the time of COVID, something called Dr. Thrive, where we reach out to doctors and medical students and give them psychosocial mental health support. And I'm glad to say that our innovation and the service that we give have saved the lives of a few doctors and medical students. So somebody's alive today because of the work that I do and we do with my team. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You mentioned a couple of things which are very exciting. This platform also started at the height of COVID, when negativity was prevailing. And we
Yes.
chose, why not start something that would start people off in a week with positivity, so that they are happy to see the next day and make a difference in their lives. And
That's wonderful.
so far, yes,
Mm,
that was in 2020 at the height of COVID. And
mm.
we are now here. We continue to impact lives every single week. Shiro Mugithi, I'm going to give you time to speak, but let me read this one from Dr. Melvin first. Dr. Melvin is asking, what is that Why is it that there are no endowed chairs at our local universities? Like today we are talking about, you are talking about a boom. Now we are talking about scrapping the whole funding system. That is it because nobody set up a fund for this. That's what Dr. Melvin is asking. I don't know what you say about that.
I think for a long time we have thought of things like that as happening in the West, and that thinking that perhaps we didn't have enough. And sometimes it takes somebody pulling the rug from under our feet, the way the president of the US has done, for us to realize that we grew up, we have grown up, we have enough resources, we have enough, we are able to, whatever God has gives us in our lifetimes is enough for us to be able to make a difference in the generations us. And the time is right now for us to at least start setting up those endowed chairs. And I'm a double graduate of University of Nairobi and also a double graduate of Johns Hopkins University, meaning I've graduated twice from each of these universities. And my first graduations are because my family sacrificed for me. My two other graduations are because the people of the US used through the US Embassy recognized that I was a leader in my field in this nation. And I was part of a very select group, about 5% of 3,500, among 3,500 people who apply yearly to the US embassies to be Fulbright scholars, that they saw that we each of us had a light that would be able to light other people's lives. And so now time is ripe for us as Kenyans to say, I'm actually looking forward for us to setting up something called Friends of Kenyatta National Hospital. So apart from what the government is giving us, there's so much that we can do at KNH to make life so much easier for the people who come to our hospital. KNH is the only place that I've worked through my whole of career. I am passionate about KNH. I work there as a calling. It's such a privilege to be able to touch the lives of people, to be able to be part of training medical personnel, and the people that we train go out around the world. So yes, I think time is ripe for us to wake up and say, you know what? We grew up, we have enough in our pockets, and together we can make a difference and leave something behind for the other generations in endowment funds and endowed positions. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. I always love quoting a Chinese proverb that says, if you want to be happy for a day, for an hour you take a nap, for a day you can go fishing, for a month you win a fortune, and for a lifetime they say you impact people, you make a positive difference in the lives of people, and I believe it's true. Shiro Mugithi, would you unmute and comment?
A very good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Mine is to actually appreciate Violet. You've done a very, very wonderful job. And I don't know whether it's a recommendation or a comment. If you can do this for your brother, would it be possible now for the poor Monday that you have Violet herself telling us now about the aspects of mental health? Because like,
Yes.
if you can do it for your other person, what would it mean for us to be able to listen to you? And I'm saying in the line of like, I am, so to put it, through
you're breaking, Shiro.
I'm a mental health. I also have a coordination. Actually, I think you put it well, but now you're found that we're
okay.
And now for general comment, I'm in Malindi. I'm village.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
We've lost you. It's breaking, but we got the message. We got the message, and I think we will work on that. It's the same thing that Maurice has said, that we will be happy to hear your own story. Today you were speaking about your elder bro, which you did in a great way. I believe we need to hear your story, and that's good. And there is also Odhiambo Lale, who is asking, Odhiambo Lale himself asking, at what point should one seriously start working on or thinking about their legacy? in the three mountains of life. Is it teenage? Is it young adulthood? Is it at senior elderhood? And why is it that that very rarely do mourners cite material wealth at deceased legal as deceased legacy? Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Lale. Let me take the latter part of the question first. I think people rarely cite material wealth because money is a means to an end. You know, money is a medium of exchange that we are given. You give somebody resources, and we, having moved on from barter trade, it helps make people's lives better, and it helps us achieve certain things. And if we only focus on that, then we'll have a very, very empty life. Now, I think by the time somebody has reached teenage, they need to have a fairly good idea of what their purpose is in their generation, as in why did God form you with a particular temperament, with particular talents, and what are you going to contribute to the people around you, and what are you going to do that comes easily to you and that can be able to impact the society around you. By the time you are a young adult, as you're beginning your work career, or whether you're working in business or in other spheres, or your career as perhaps as a wife and a mother, many of which, of course, would be concurrent. We don't separate family from work in terms of we continue to grow our families even as we are working and growing. By that time, as you start off your family, before you even start your family, you need to have an idea of what lasting legacy you want to leave behind. So I think teenage is the place where the seed which has been nurtured actually from childhood is being helped to mature. And as a young adult, by then you should be making your choices based on a long-term vision and not just where you want to be in the next 2 to 3 years.
Thank you very much. And I think it's partly responsibility for the people taking care of the young people as they grow to implant these seeds in them so that they look at the long vision as opposed to just achieving some short-term gain. How they are nurtured so that we plant seeds of greatness in them. They start being responsible leaders and they think about impacting lives as opposed to accumulating wealth and making life just good for themselves. I think, Daktari, you will also need to put your contact in the chat. Some other people will want to join you. I see Dr. Elizabeth Ominde here, and probably you've mentored some other people who are in here, as I can feel the vibe. Yes, I can see Eunice is very happy to see you. We've been with Eunice here for ages.
She's an amazing person, yes.
Yeah. So Dr. Ada is the one you said who was commenting just before you talked. So she has a hand up. Dr. Ada, you can make your remarks as we come towards a close.
Yeah, thank you very much for that excellent presentation. As you said, I heard that the two most important days in your life are the day that you are born and the day that you realize why. So purpose is very important. And one of the reasons why I went into holistic health, because people ask, why would you leave surgery and become a counselor? The reason I went into holistic health was from medical trauma. Like, as you say, Professor, is it Frank Njenga was your mentor? But Chiromo has been closed for malpractice right now. And when I was, through mental health challenges, I was pumped with I was pumped with a lot of drugs, and I became a zombie. And in the end, it was the trauma. So these institutions, some of them, they just pump us drugs, and the big pharma has overtaken medicine. So you find that when I went for fibroid surgery, I almost died in theater only to discover that there's medicine, natural medicine, that can shrink fibroids. And then I was on the I was on the pill for 5 years, which affected my mental health, only to discover that I was swallowing a class 1 carcinogen. So my question
Wow.
was, if this can happen to these things can happen to a medical doctor, what's happening to the wananchi? And actually, when you talk to Kenyans, every other Kenyan you speak to has medical trauma. So I just went whole into naturopathic medicine and psychology, and find out we're not trauma, like the adverse childhood experiences, and trauma is not taught in medical school. Nutrition is not taught in medical school, and yet these are the mainstay of our health. So I went into the women's health in particular, because me as a woman, my pregnancy and losses were not taken into account. The attitude was like, get over it, what's your problem? So I said, you know what? Let me just go against the grain and treat people the way they're supposed to be treated after all my trauma. So that's where I found my purpose. Yeah. So, if we treat people according to their human nature and understand that we are a whole person, being mind, body, and spirit, not just the body which needs a pill for every single disease, then I think we'll help. And with the COVID fiasco, many people are now realizing that since so many people are dying after being sick after the jab, and they're getting treated with natural medicine to detox themselves, realizing that it wasn't actually a vaccine but a poison, then many people are now going back to natural medicine. And the only way we can treat this issue is by just starving big pharma altogether. Since they're so powerful, we don't have the resources to fight them. We just, say no, and then we go back to we go back to nature, and we treat people according to their human nature. And when people are aligned with their human nature and their physiology, then they will get well.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you. I
thank
think
you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Eda. I know it is a topic that is really, really in your heart. Thank you so much. So, OPP, was there anything else that you wanted to say?
no questions. I think it's done. There are just a few comments that have come, but they are all uploading the speaker. So you can move on to the next stage. I think we are out of time.
Okay, thank you so much. I call upon Dr. Melvin Glima, who is going to give the vote of thanks. And then immediately after, Antonia comes in with the administration.
Dr. You are muted. You are muted.
Okay. Thank you very much for that wonderful talk, Dr. Violet. You have created a great deal of interest in mental health and in leaving a legacy behind for medical students and medical interns and doctors generally, and for Kenyatta National Hospital. I know that there's a depth in you which goes beyond the influence of your brother David, whom we had wanted very much to listen to. But I think you've done a good job representing him. And I also believe that you've lit a fire among all of us to first of all find our purpose and define our legacy right now, and perhaps start a trust fund, start a fund for a prize in a school or in a university, or even in a league. It's very important for us to follow through with the advice that you have given us. So that's my take right now. So thank you very much, and I would also like to thank OPP and his team for putting this program together every Monday. And please send our greetings to David and we wish him a quick
I
recovery.
will do that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Back to you, OPP and Antonia.
Thank you. Thank you. I trust Noel said I come in for the administration. And before I get to the administration, let me also thank the speaker for today, Dr. Violet. What a family that can read their brother's handwriting. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed by that. Just stepping into your brother and just do. I trust if David was here, he would have just done that. And we are so grateful just to have you. It is also a good way of us who have families to learn, not just from what you presented, but that unity. And where there is unity, God commands a blessing. That's
Amen.
so great just to receive the blessings of the unity in your own family. And we normally told the best legacy is when it is read when one is still alive. And that is the kind of
I
legacy
totally agree.
that Jesus led. So I trust it is good. We also emulate that. You are leading a legacy for your brother and also for your family while you guys are still alive, and that is the best legacy that one can leave. And we are so encouraged, and we are truly inspired this morning. And that is what Power Monday does, inspiring everyone who joins this call just before we start off our week. On to our announcements. And first of all, I would like to thank everyone who managed to join the Power Monday meet and greet last Saturday. I can tell you guys, I have not yet recovered because I missed for the first time. And I trust with time I'll recover. And what made me at least feel better is hearing that it was all great and you people enjoyed and you had fun. So thank you so much for those who showed up. And for those who came, we are really grateful because it can only happen if you guys show up. And also on to our WhatsApp group. For the new members, I truly welcome you to the group. Thank you for showing interest to join the WhatsApp group. There is a description at the description session. Kindly check it and only adhere to do what it means. It means we don't want to be like another group whereby people enter and they can post things anytime, anywhere. There are days that we advertise our businesses, and there are days that we only invite people for some power talks like these ones when in the other platforms that we have them. So kindly do as per the rules and regulations of the group. Also,